Hello everyone! Freediving under ice is the most extreme form of freediving. The depth of this borehole is 90 meters. Watch this video and you'll worry less about sharks in the sea. Barracudas are way more nimble.
Look, he's swimming quick.
An incredible leap by a whale as it greets the tourists.
Y se lo pasan enterito. Así que sería imposible que nos ataque a nosotros.
They might seem slow in the water, but don't be fooled.
Como pequeñas lijitas nada más en la parte de la boca. Porque ellos no salen más debido a que ellos succionan el agua para que se lo pasen a la presa.
Es muy grande, muy grande.
Cuando suelto la presa emite un sonido debido a la succión del agua, no es porque nos está queriendo cazar a nosotros.
¿Lo grabaste? Sí.
Did you know that you can experiment with plasma using just a simple pendulum and high voltage?
Three, two, one.
Hey! Where are you going?
This bear with sticky paws is testing out its parkour skills. One of the most effective ways to end your family line.
Oh, 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 oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh, yo, they're different.
और सब आगे बढ़ते हुए और ये टंडे होने को आ गया और 6 हो चुका है और बॉल बट्टर
Go, Teddy. No. Wait.
Go. Let
Teddy,
go.
let go.
This is definitely the coolest way to transport oil. When a tree falls on a high voltage power line, it often causes a short circuit and a fire. The branches can connect wires from different phases, and the resulting electric arc can reach temperatures of several thousand degrees. Remnants of Tropical Storm Irene reached New York State, causing chaos at a yacht club on the Catskill Creek.
Сейчас ветками побабахай.
Бойся!
If you guys hear the buzzing, our transformer just exploded 3 times. It's oh my god!
A scary firework display. Lightning hits an electrical substation right in the middle of a storm.
My god!
This terrifying deep-sea shark was only discovered in 1990 and is known for its unique triangular jaws that can extend well beyond the head to quickly grab prey. It's not a creature you'd want to meet in the water, that's for sure.
Представляете, люди готовятся на ифтар под водой.
The DC-10 air tanker, a firefighting plane, is doing an outstanding job battling the wildfires in California. Underwater demolition of an old oil rig. Check out the sound. No computer graphics here, simply oil emulsions seen through a strong microscope. A strong start is half the battle.
Медведь! Медведь!
The epic launch of the spillway at the Baihetan hydroelectric power station in China. The arch dam at this facility is the largest in the world, with a volume of 7 million cubic meters. The level of realism is incredible. I can't believe this is made from ordinary wood. No one can argue that the graduation ceremonies at the Air Force Academy are the most spectacular. Ziplining through the clouds above the stunning forests of Alaska is a pure, unfiltered joy. Incredible place in China. Not everyone would dare to descend a staircase carved into a sheer cliff. The pufferfish family is known for their defensive strategy. When threatened, they inflate with water or air and turn into spiky balls. A brave guy is working on installing a giant LED display. It looks like the rope is just there for moral support. Here's why it's important not to save money on tools. What an exceptional job by the pilot.
Wow, it's so cool.
This courier is willing to do whatever it takes to make a delivery. This medical center is so large that it even has an electric bus driving around inside. In some ways, moray eels are even scarier than sharks. Welcome to the magical Fingal's Cave in Scotland.
Buen día, buen día, buen día. ¿Cómo andan todos? ¿Cómo andan todos?
Don't ask any questions, and don't tell anyone what you've seen.
Ahí están llegando de recorrer Punta Liponono. Con el ponchito, porque moja bastante esto, moja bastante. El poncho cubre Preguntale, cubre Ponono, cubre todo. Che, Preguntale, ¿cómo estaba todo? ¿Todo bien por allá? Ni bola. Bueno, ahí nos vemos. Chao.
This guy never has trouble finding someone to join him for a bike ride. By the way, some parrot species can reach speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour. When the term houseboat
Like a
is
house.
meant literally,
Floating in the water.
this is what it means when neighbors help with a move. Check out the work of camera operators in major sports events. It takes amazing concentration and lightning-fast reflexes. An amazing dynamic sculpture created using 3D modeling. Check out how hail breaks windows and wreaks havoc in living rooms. Most of the time, hailstones are no larger than 4 centimeters, but they can sometimes be much bigger, leading to serious damage. There's even been a report of hailstones weighing as much as 500 grams. We're looking forward to your jokes about spicy fast food and ideas on how the toilet ended up on the balcony. This guy is amazing. He can twist his feet 200 degrees. Due to a malfunction in the irrigation system, geologists now have to redraw the maps for this area. Arguably the most compelling representation of steampunk ever. Diving with sperm whales is an incredible experience that draws hundreds of tourists to Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. Watching a new vessel being launched into the water is an impressive and thrilling sight that takes your breath away. The detonation at the Australian coal mine moved close to 5 million cubic meters of earth and rock. Experience the incredible unity of the entire stadium and join in too. Just in case you've never felt sorry for a truck before, this footage isn't just for laughs, it's from a crash test for high security barriers. This barber is ideal for people who are open to extreme makeovers. It's not extraordinary, but it's really beautiful. He scored with his first touch. Now that's what you call making an impact off the bench. While many people have watched a rocket launch, few have seen what it's like to test various rocket engines on dedicated test stands. Racing karts? That looks like the ultimate dream sport. If you lose a sneaker in a gallery, it instantly becomes an art installation. An interesting fact about bees is that they can't fly in the dark. According to one theory, they interpret sudden darkness as a predator's attack. Newlyn is a port town in southern England, where it's best to avoid standing too close to the shore during high tide. This bottle is like a coin that's landed on its edge. How's it worse than the one in New York? Have you ever watched a wall being cut? That saw is unbelievably powerful. Now that's some advanced training. It looks like this is the main event of the evening. It might be easier for dogs to skate than for people, since they have 4 paws for balance. In any case, this corgi is simply awesome. It's just a cargo holder, but even looking at it feels a bit nerve-wracking.
Так иди, так иди, так иди, так иди, так иди.
Easy.
Now you know what a cat's hell looks like. Here's someone who's found the perfect balance between work and relaxation. That's some god-level pantomime. Can you guess how she does that?
It's definitely not.
Stand back. No, go back.
Oh, okay.
Hit the like button if you suddenly feel the urge to sweep the floor. Here's a cool tip for taking amazing photos. You never know when your journey will begin. This shot is both terrible and amazing at the same time. This video of the Columbia Glacier is truly breathtaking. When the iceberg, about the size of a high-rise building, carved off, it sank at first because of gravity. However, the denser seawater soon caused the towering ice column to rise back up. It's scary to think about what the people on the nearby boat must have gone through.
Oh my god! at this run! Oh! Oh my god! Holy! Woo!
While kayaking, the tourists heard a loud noise and paddled to within about 15 meters of the glacier.
Oh, here you go, more.
The carving of ice from the Holgate Glacier in the stunning Kenai Fjords National Park perfectly demonstrates how chaotic and spontaneous this natural phenomenon can be. The sheer impact of the towering, silent wave that rushes towards onlookers is truly something to behold.
Look at that! Ouch!
The timing and size of future ice carving events depends on a range of factors, including various physical and chemical properties of the ice. For years, researchers have been working on developing a reliable formula to predict these processes.
Alright, that was great. Alright, that's one of the best things I've seen.
Holy crap! Danger, danger, danger! Holy crap! Whoa!
Icebergs pose more dangers than just waves. Sometimes when they break apart, they can cause a dangerous shower of ice chunks flying at high speeds. This can be quite a shock for tourists. Let's take a look at Greenland's glaciers. In this video, a massive iceberg breaks off from the Jakobshavn Glacier, which sends 35 billion tons of ice into the fjord each year. Lately, with rising temperatures, the melting of glaciers and iceberg formation has accelerated even more. Greenland is the largest island on Earth, bordered by the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. Scientists estimate that around 3 million years ago, the island, once covered in vegetation, began to freeze over. Today, 81% of its area is covered by an ice sheet known as the Greenland Ice Sheet, which holds nearly 2.85 million cubic kilometers of ice. If the ice in Greenland were to melt completely, global sea levels would rise by 7 meters, which would be a true apocalypse.
Almost sight! She's coming! The Kraken! The glory! Holy shit!
Take a look at these tumbles of a newborn iceberg. It's truly captivating, especially considering its size, over 500 meters long. This giant iceberg is a piece of the Vatnajökull Glacier, the largest by volume in Europe. It covers 8% of Iceland's total land area. The iceberg floats in the Atlantic Lagoon, meaning it's in salt water, which causes the difference in density between the ice and seawater. This results in about 90% of the iceberg being submerged. Before it sets off on an ocean voyage, the iceberg must find its balance. It's interesting that even icebergs that have been drifting for a long time can still flip over. These are called black icebergs because the submerged part is darker than the part above water. The Titanic famously collided with such a black iceberg at night.
Wow, that's a big piece. Oh my God, look at that piece. Oh my God.
The people on that boat were probably the ones who were the closest in the world to seeing the carving of a glacier in Tracy Arm Fjord. Glaciers can also create icebergs below the surface, causing ice chunks to unexpectedly rise like submarines. This can trigger a chain reaction, as demonstrated in this video. For example, the Sawyer Glacier stands about 60 meters tall, and when chunks of ice fall from that height, they can cause even bigger pieces to break off underwater. Because of this, icebergs from continental glaciers tend to be smaller, and their surfaces are seldom smooth. Here's yet another example of nature's unparalleled architectural skills. This breathtaking ice bridge is a feature of the Perito Moreno Glacier, which lies within Los Glaciares National Park in the southwestern region of Argentina's Santa Cruz province. Covering an area of 250 square kilometers, Perito Moreno is the third largest source of fresh water in the world. The Perito Moreno Glacier is constantly moving at about 2 meters per day, advancing into the curved Argentino Lake. Its 5-kilometer wide, 60-meter high tongue splits the lake in half, creating a natural dam. As a result, the water level in the southern part of the lake can rise up to 30 meters higher than in the main part of the lake. What you're looking at is an ice bridge that's essentially a dam created by water eroding a tunnel through it, with gravity now finishing the job. It's a spectacular sight that attracts many visitors. The cycle of building up and breaking down a dam repeats at different intervals, ranging from just a year to as long as 10 years. This arch looks like it belongs in a fantasy film, but it's actually a natural formation, an iceberg in Disco Bay on the west coast of Greenland. In Disco Bay, discovered by the famous Viking Eric the Red, thousands of icebergs of all shapes and sizes drift year-round. Icebergs continuously break down from the moment they're formed, and this breaking process results in the many forms we observe, such as pyramidal, slanted, rounded, or arch-shaped icebergs like this one. Rivers that freeze in winter have to make tremendous efforts every year to break through their icy crust. In this video, the Amonoosuc River in northwestern New Hampshire faces an additional challenge. Where the river's course was altered for bridge construction, a massive ice jam is formed.
Oh my god. So cool.
The birth of icebergs from the South Sawyer Glacier in Tracy Arm Fjord on southeast Alaska is a mesmerizing sight. The glacier's ice is a striking cobalt blue color. This glacier is a classic active tidewater glacier, with a front that carves frequently, and when the iceberg flips over, it's clear that the underwater section can be just as remarkable as the part we see above water. A massive glacier carving and a terrifying tsunami, a sight that never gets old.
Go. Keep watching. Keep watching.
There it is. Whoa, wow! Phenomena! Big wall. So hold on.
Yeah, hold on is right.
Look at that mini tsunami.
Tidal wave.
Did you see that tsunami?
A tidal wave.
Oh, really? Whoa.
What could ever compare to the piercing blue of glacial ice? It's no wonder that many people fall in love with this force of nature and make studying glaciers their profession. Especially since Earth's total ice reserves are estimated at 30 million cubic kilometers. That's a separate layer of the planet called the cryosphere. These kind of scenes really make you realize how insignificant we are compared to the power of nature. In the video, tourists are marveling at the icebergs forming at Columbia Glacier in Prince William Sound, Alaska.
Wow, look.
During these tours, the boat captain must be extremely cautious, as the waves created by the calving glacier are notoriously unpredictable.
Wow. Hey, can you turn the boat to the right?
The Columbia Glacier, named after Columbia University, descends from the Chugach Mountains and spans over 50 kilometers.
What's this one? It's not finished yet.
Today, it's known as the fastest moving glacier in the world and has been rapidly retreating since the early 1980s. This is why it's common here to see ice chunks breaking off almost every day.
Look, wow.
For example, in 2001, the Columbia Glacier retreated nearly 30 meters from the bay, shedding icebergs with a total volume of 7 cubic kilometers.
Man, look at all that right there. Look at it.
When ice floes can be visually stunning as they move across rivers, they also come with serious risks. Ice jams, or the accumulation of ice chunks in a river's path, are a common problem. These jams frequently happen in narrow spots or bends in the river, as well as around structures such as bridges or piers. They can lead to sudden floods and cause severe damage if the ice pushes onto the land. To prevent these issues, people sometimes need to build special barriers to catch and manage the ice. The Perito Moreno Glacier has become a tourist gem in Patagonia, not only because of its stunning beauty, but also due to its accessibility. It's easy to get here, and you can enjoy the breathtaking views and thrilling ice falls not only from the lake, but also from well-equipped viewing platforms right in front of the massive ice wall. Whether you catch a carving event during your visit is up to chance. What a mess! The cruise liner collided with a small iceberg near Tracy Arm Fjord. The impact caused the iceberg to break apart into many smaller pieces.
Oh my god. Look at that piece.
Did you know that there's a reason glacier ice has a blue color? When ice first forms, it appears white due to the large air bubbles trapped inside it. Over time, as more layers of ice accumulate on top, the pressure increases, and these air bubbles shrink. This change in the ice's light absorption properties allows light to penetrate deeper, giving the ice its rich blue color. In other words, if you see blue ice, it probably means the ice has been around for thousands or even millions of years. If you drop a cube of such ice into your drink, it'll crack with a loud pop due to the highly compressed air inside. If your glass is thin, it might even shatter. An iceberg of incredibly complex shape breaks apart and flips over in the waters of Argentino Lake. Even during the warm season, from December to March, the average air temperature here is about 12 degrees Celsius. As a result, icebergs can float in the lake for a long time, slowly melting and attracting many tourists. truly stunning scale. The Viedma Glacier, flowing down the mountain valley, continues to feed the unique lake with its ice. The people of Ithaca, New York, will long remember the dramatic transformation of their usually calm Cascadilla Creek. Severe frosts followed by a sudden thaw caused rapid ice melt, putting several areas at risk of flooding.
Yeah, it's coming down again.
Here comes the actual water.
Whoa!
Yeah. There's a huge amount of water coming down.
Scientists predict that in the coming decades, the Columbia Glacier will continue to retreat, giving up another 15 kilometers to the fjord. Eventually, it'll reach a point where its bed rises above sea level. While this might seem like a result of global warming, the advance and retreat of coastal glaciers are not as directly linked to climate change as one might think.
In the days leading up to this event, we had several nights of really cold weather, and then the January thaw hit.
The start of ice flow is always an unexpected event that marks the beginning of spring. It's especially dynamic on fast and powerful rivers like the Roaring Fork in Colorado. The river broke through an ice dam and swiftly carried a mass of broken ice downstream.
As we watched the spectacle unfold, to our amazement, there was a beaver riding one of the icebergs. It was just surfing right on the front of the wave, and apparently doing just fine as it...
Oh no! It's because the sun is hitting that way.
A phenomenally beautiful show. The Eolic Tidewater Glacier in the Kenai Fjords National Park crashes ice and firn into the waters of the bay. Firn is an intermediate stage between snow and glacial ice, still grainy but already a fairly dense substance. What's fascinating is that the process of turning snow into firn and then into an ice can occur both at below freezing temperatures and at temperatures close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The different layers of ice and firn that form in various conditions make each glacier an incredibly complex structure. By the way, firn is the building material for the Eskimos' traditional home, the igloo. One of Iceland's 13 largest glaciers, Mýrdalsjökull, occasionally triggers avalanches from its peaks. The active Katla volcano, located beneath the glacier's southeastern section, often triggers earthquakes in the region. everyone! Your inner perfectionist is in for a treat. We've prepared videos where people are so synchronized they seem like armies of clones. Some are meticulously planned, while others happen purely by chance. Let's get it on. It seems like they've decided to recreate the white noise of a TV in real life. However, soon this crowd will take on a more organized shape. Imagine all the practice and bumping into each other that must have happened to get to this point. I'd sooner believe that one of them learned to clone herself than that humans could achieve such perfect synchronicity. Even bees would be jealous of such flawless teamwork. Who would have thought that preparing for a race could be even more exciting than the race itself? It's like a real orchestra on the move. And, as if the harmony in the music isn't enough, they even dance in perfect unison. It's called the Dance of a Thousand Hands. How can they even manage without a mirror? What makes this team even more amazing is that it's made up of deaf and mute girls, so their hands are their primary means of expression. It's not the most complex dance, but with so many people involved, it looks impressive, don't you think? I'm not sure what's more impressive in this video, the girls' coordinated movements or the fact that they're doing it all upside down. Their movements are as coordinated as a shoal of fish, but way more graceful. Such skill would probably impress even the fish. Nowhere is coordination valued as much as in the military. Just watch how the ceremonial guards demonstrate their precision. don't need any software to create beats. The sound is so amazing, it's perfect for sampling.
There you go.
Tech!
Good job, girls. Good.
There's a certain beauty in a group of people moving in sync, but these folks seem like they could put on an entire animated show. The live orchestra playing alongside just makes it even more epic.
We are in the throes of battle. Let's hope that Captain America, with his indestructible shield, can take over the fight to safeguard Ohio City.
Looks like this runs in the family. The trombone part is the highlight of this performance. Do you think this is just a coincidence, or does it come from a lot of practice? What? I swear I was sure there was a mirror next to the guy. This team of women is so in sync that they not only run like clockwork, they practically are a clock. Or a blooming flower. Or even this, whatever it might be. With videos like this, you could start believing in the world behind the mirror. Although some things weren't designed for mass use, China went ahead and created synchronized massage. Seems this is how people might have built the pyramids. The way those dogs wiggle around is so contagious that you find yourself doing it too without even realizing it. There's nothing like joining a flash mob like this to truly feel the stadium vibe. It's incredible how people pull this off without planning it together first. The presentation is so perfectly executed that it's like clockwork. Cheerleading is an art form that demonstrates how gracefully a crowd of people can work together. These women do their jobs so amazingly well that they deserve way more than just being called a cheerleading squad. It's no wonder these guys help boost the players' morale. After all, their exceptional musicianship makes players eager to match that level of performance on the field. These guys turn themselves into pixels to showcase something that will blow your mind. If they can put these skills to use in a real game, they'll probably be unbeatable. These guys are on a real march. It seems like these guys share one collective intelligence. Their teamwork is flawless. It looks even cooler with the beat. Check it out. These guys seem to be connected by an invisible thread. Military marching is impressive, but crawling in formation demands even more endurance and strength. If you slow down, you can really let down the person behind you. The gesture at the end was a bit off, but the impeccable teamwork of these people makes it hard to believe it's really happening. Synchronizing robots is definitely easier than synchronizing people. After all, they all share the same brain. Still, it's a mesmerizing sight. He has no idea how dedicated his fanbase really is.
And they're off to the races.
This video proves the saying, great minds think alike.
This is going to be down to milliseconds, folks. Let's cheer them on.
Naturally, we're ramping up his speed. Come on, boys. Let's see a quick time.
Down to the wire. Who's going to grab the finishing hole first? I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, was that a tie?
This is one of those videos that leaves you speechless. If these guys run into an opponent, he'll be surprised not just by their numbers. I think there's a cloning machine somewhere in that room. Even though the stakes are high, these athletes are still willing to take risks for the sake of an extraordinary show. When it comes to impressive flights, fighter pilots really know their stuff. When there are several of them, it turns into a full-blown show that anyone can enjoy just by looking up at the sky. That moment when it's a two-player game, but you have to control both characters yourself. Not everyone can move on the ground the way they do on the ice. You might find it strange that this video ended up in the compilation, but give these metronomes a chance. It's even more pleasing to see order born out of total chaos. Get ready to break your mind trying to figure out how they do it. The choreography is incredibly sharp here. I'm curious if they could pull off those moves on ordinary bikes. They look like the Terracotta Army come to life. This incredible phenomenon is called murmuration, the coordinated flight of a massive flock of birds. These swirling three-dimensional patterns demonstrate that the pursuit of synchronicity and symmetry is a natural instinct, not just a human one. At football games, fans often start a wave. Bees would probably enjoy that too. They did a fantastic job cosplaying the DNA structure. Playing this game alone takes immense skill, but coordinating with a buddy means that you've got to be a god-level gamer. Synchronized swimming looks graceful, and the thrill of coordinated jumps into the water makes it even more extreme. On that day, everyone in town probably felt a small earthquake. This is what I call being on the same wavelength. This tool is designed to show kids the laws of physics, but I'm sure it's just as fascinating for adults. Who says aerobics is boring? This party looks so irresistibly fun that you can't help but want to join in. No wonder so many people showed up. Even police are now embracing the trend of smart lighting. Hello everyone. From massive debris flows to waterfalls right in the middle of cities, it's time to witness the most powerful and sudden floods and marvel at the raw force. It's good that people record these incidents on video, reminding us to respect nature, because it can show us just how powerful it can be. A house with an ocean view sounds magical, doesn't it? That is, until a powerful storm hits and the waves reach 2 meters high. In several towns along the coasts of Ireland and the North Sea, this was exactly what happened. People must have thought their homes were far enough from the water, so they were shocked when they saw massive waves coming closer. Being this close to the ocean isn't so peaceful anymore. This is what flooding looks like during winter time. When a storm hits a city and the temperature drops to freezing or below, the water flows start to freeze and turn into a sluggish ice flow. Even though it moves slowly, it can still flood the streets and make life really tough for people. For instance, it can completely wreck cars. Not to mention how chilling it is to just see this kind of weather. Hit the like button if you get cold just from looking at that damp, chilly street.
This guy's gonna get stuck. What are you doing?
Not every car, or rather driver, would push through a flood. But this fearless Houston resident did just that. While everyone else pulled over, unsure what to do, he kept driving into the water. To everyone's amazement, his determination paid off. I bet his boss showed that video to all the other employees who came up with excuses for not making it to work that day.
He's got balls, man. Balls, stupidity.
Hit hard by the flooding after some heavy rains. Small streams had turned into raging rivers. As a result, most people chose a longer route to avoid the danger, but one driver decided to take the risk. Luckily, everything turned out fine, and the man... Take a look at what happens when a city is hit by a flood. Heavy rainfall doesn't just cover a few streets, it creates a flow from higher grounds that brings along everything but clean water. As a result, many roads remain blocked, making it impossible to drive or even walk through them. Rubber boots probably won't help you reach the store easily in such conditions. Italy is a super popular destination for tourists, mainly because of its stunning views and great weather. Imagine how surprised the visitors must have been when they looked out the window and saw this. Despite the severe flooding, no one was hurt, and the next day many people went out to help clean up the mess left by the weather. I'd give anything to see the face of the person whose GPS told them to take this shortcut. The current may not look too dangerous or fast, but it managed to wash out the banks and a whole stretch of road. It's creepy, but also impressive how nature can do something like this. When you realize what nature is capable of, you can't help but admire it even more. Judging by the murky water and all the debris, this flow isn't coming from a clear mountain lake. It probably picked up stuff from places that don't usually see much rain on its way down. But honestly, if you close your eyes, the flooding could even feel soothing, like a little ASMR for everyone living nearby. The last thing anyone wants is to get stuck on a bus in the middle of the city in this kind of weather. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to some residents in Hong Kong when they were caught off guard by a massive storm. The city was hit with heavy rainfall that flooded several neighborhoods. Just imagine it, there was almost no escape from this weather. A tiny village in Colombia got hit by a huge flood that overwhelmed the area in seconds. Check out how fast the water engulfed the houses in the low area. It's really a miracle that everyone got out safely and no one got hurt. But now, 30 houses are in need of serious repairs.
Bendito sea mi Dios, hombre.
Just because you can't see the raging waters during a flood doesn't mean they can't cause damage. After a series of heavy rains hit one of Brazil's largest states, the downpours finally eased up, and people thought the worst was over as the water on the streets started to recede. But then they saw a small structure being carried by the current toward a bridge, only for it to collapse like a house of cards. This isn't just boiling water, it's the aftermath of a river overflow in Minnesota. The intense flooding reached the dam and damaged one side of it. You can tell the current was really strong with large water flows. Even to a regular person, it was obvious the dam was at risk of collapsing. It's like nature was nudging the local government to get serious about fixing it. Even though the bridge held up, it couldn't serve its purpose for a while. Due to heavy thunderstorms in a suburb of Austria, there were floods. With such a powerful current, it's easy to believe that it washed out and blocked some roads. Even the bridge downstream got closed off because of the strong flow. And it wasn't just the bridge, the water even reached the town's streets. Something similar happened in India, but this time the massive surge of water didn't catch people off guard. They actually gathered on the shore to watch the tide fill up the shallow parts of the river. Just listen to how excited they are. It's not hard to get them. Seeing the raw power of nature up close makes it hard to hold back your excitement. Sometimes water can get dangerously close to homes. For example, the people in this village had to quickly evacuate and move to higher ground to escape the flood. It's scary to think about what could have happened if the current had reached their houses. I don't know what kind of charms or amulets they have hanging in their homes, but they seem to have done a good job protecting them from nature's fury.
We're in a Jeep sitting on 37s. Look at this. Wow. Wow, dude, look at that. That is a water treatment plant. underwater. This is all lake now. This is crazy. Look at that gas station.
The people of Houston will remember this flood for a long time. In just a few days, the state saw over 30 centimeters of rainfall. Many streets were flooded, roads were blocked by the water, and residents had to be evacuated for their own safety. With parts of the city underwater, there's not much to do but stay home. And if you're there, it's best to be on the second floor or higher. El Paso gets flooded quite often, so the locals are probably used to seeing stuff like this. For people from areas with consistently nice weather though, it can be pretty shocking. The aftermath of a heavy rain can look like this. It's more like a waterfall than a typical flood. Just look at how fast the water is moving. At least the locals know exactly how to stay safe in situations like this. Believe it or not, a dam stood here for 114 years. It held back excess water and protected the valley residents from flooding. But one day, a flood hit the structure, washing out the power station. The river started washing away the river bank and eventually broke through. Despite standing strong in the water for over a century, the dam couldn't handle the overwhelming force of nature. That's what people who live near this river in France got to see. They say the locals haven't seen anything like this for more than 20 years. The cause of this rare phenomenon was strong thunderstorms that triggered a river overflow. A huge amount of natural debris started flowing downstream. Workers even had to clear the riverbed to unblock its flow and clean the water in the clogged banks. The view from the window is truly remarkable. However, during the storm, the residents of the British coastal town regretted choosing to live there. In the most dangerous areas, wind speeds reached 130 kilometers per hour, causing massive waves to crash against the cliffs and houses along the shore. It was both a terrifying and breathtaking sight.
Okay, what's the weather forecast?
We should go get slight chance of flash flooding, maybe.
Chance of flash flooding?
All right, we gotta move.
Okay, let's get out of here.
This flow just increased like.
Let's go, come on. Let's go. He went back. Yeah, see, look, that's eating up where we were.
Yeah, that wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm filming the whole thing.
Excellent.
Even our most excellent escape.
If you don't believe water is a powerful force, just see what it can do. In just a second, the current can pick up and sweep away anything in its path, including massive boulders. You definitely don't want to be caught in that. It looks like the workers will need to find new places to stay. A flood unexpectedly hit the site where their trailers were parked, sweeping them away with the current in just a few minutes. Fortunately, no one was inside at the time, but just imagine how it must have felt for them to see their homes floating away together.
目送我的财产。
People crossed this bridge to the other side every day, never expecting what was about to happen. The tiny stream wasn't scary at all, and the suspension bridge seemed safe and sturdy. But nature reminded everyone what it's capable of. During a flood, a surge of water crashed down on the bridge, reducing it to just a memory of its former self in a matter of seconds. After that, many people had to find a new route, and the builders had to take the weather into account, making the new bridge a bit stronger. I bet you wouldn't recognize beautiful Spain from those videos. The region was hit by an enormous storm. Heavy rain and strong winds transformed the city streets beyond recognition, making them nearly impassable. Water was flooding the ground floors of buildings, roads were blocked, and even the airports had to halt operations to keep people safe. Think about how challenging it must have been for the rescuers to drive through the city and help people in those circumstances. These people are lucky to be in a safe zone where the flood hasn't reached them yet. But look at the scale of it. No chance such a large and powerful flow of water would just stop and not spread any further. So the guys should hurry up and move their cars before something like this happens to them.
يا الله يستر الله يستر الله يستر يا الله يا الله.
Poor owners will go crazy trying to find their missing cars. Living by the ocean in the northern part of the US is far from the dream many imagine. Instead of year-round beach vacations with a cocktail in hand, it often means keeping a close eye on weather forecasts, dealing with closed windows, and managing unbearable humidity. Severe storms make daily life and work challenging for locals. Few people would consider dining by the ocean when such weather is raging outside. That's why, during terrible weather and abnormal tides, many local restaurants just shut down, and locals stay indoors, waiting for better conditions. When floods hit mountainous regions, they don't just send water downstream, they also drag along a lot of natural trash like sticks, leaves, and tiny stones. As a result, rivers can look really messy after these events because all the debris gets dumped in the water. Picture what it will look like once all this debris is settled. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, get ready for work, and when you open the door, you're greeted by an unexpected flood on your street. That's how the day began for the town's residents. They had to stay home and watch the swift current, though a few brave souls chose to head out. I don't think an umbrella's gonna help here, buddy. It looks like the flooding disrupted many people's plans by washing out this road. From these scenes, it seems like a small stream always ran here, and the roads just curved somewhere. But that's not the case. Normally, there's no water here, and drivers pass through without any problem. However, on that day, nature had different plans. The cameraman will have to turn around and take a different route. When the hurricane hit Brooklyn, the entire neighborhood turned into one big swimming pool. The streets were so flooded that it was pointless to go outside without a wetsuit. Meanwhile, the rain kept falling, making the water level rise even higher. Besides the obvious problems, there were others people aren't usually prepared for, like sewer systems that couldn't handle the deluge. So, people who thought they'd stay dry in their apartments ended up dealing with a local flood in their bathroom. People sometimes visit spots like these just to see an empty riverbed filled with water. After recent rains, the locals discovered that a flood was coming their way down from the hills. Luckily, the city and houses were safe, but the riverbed was completely filled. It was an impressive sight, and it's no surprise the cameraman went out to film it. This is what happens when flooding occurs in winter. In this Swiss river, for example, the current carried thousands of ice chunks downstream. This was likely caused by melting and precipitation, and the layer of ice that hadn't melted yet just broke apart. Eventually, the surface of the water was covered with numerous chunks, which the flow carried down the slope. It's hard not to be amazed by nature when you see something like this. Take a look at this huge mud flow filmed in Switzerland. No one stopped time here, and it's got nothing to do with superheroes. It's just that all the water flowed downwards, while the solid rocks settled at the bottom. Luckily for us and the cameraman, a new flow is already on its way. Floods can be devastating, but watching them from a safe distance can be fascinating for hours. The Illgraben River is famous in Switzerland for its unusual appearance. It doesn't just carry water, it also carries a mix of light-colored rocks. From a distance, it looks more like a big muddy stream than a river. Over time, it has even shaped the landscape and created a unique bay. People there even refer to it as their local Grand Canyon. The residents of San Fernando clearly knew what was coming, so they grabbed a camera and went to observe. Fortunately, they managed to capture the flood, bringing with it a huge amount of branches and tree trunks. It looks like many trees had dried up and fallen to the ground, only to be swept away by the flowing water. Hopefully, the river gets narrower, because real trouble begins when such debris piles up in one spot and blocks the water flow.